Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Late yesterday evening, we actually finally ended up seeing some patch notes drop for the 1.75 title update that dropped yesterday morning out of the blue, completely as a surprise. We did have a full-on title update. We covered this briefly towards the end of yesterday's first video, how this title update was waiting in the PlayStation database for a little bit. They saved it over the weekend. They dropped it earlier yesterday morning, and then they just didn't include any patch notes. This was a mandatory download, like anywhere from 700 megs to 3 gigs, depending on what platform you're on, and it dropped at like 10 in the morning my time, and these patch notes didn't drop until almost 5 p.m. Not quite sure the delay there, but nonetheless, we do finally have some patch notes and some interesting things to break down with what they changed and updated with this full-on title update. So we start first with our June 2nd update, and we initially have some global updates. So this applies to multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone alike. With the gunsmith, they do have a few bug fixes here. They address an issue where the Model L Drain Hazard blueprint was missing some Mastercraft UI elements. They addressed an issue where the LC10 Storm Rage blueprint was also missing Mastercraft UI elements. And they addressed an issue with the Compact Printed End blueprint where it was missing Mastercraft UI elements. So you were spending your hard-earned money on these Mastercrafts and they weren't even functioning as intended. So of course they went through, they fixed these. And then we get one of the most interesting patch notes that we've seen in quite some time. They say they've put out a new global UI update. A feature test that surfaced select store content in loadout menus was published in the Season 4 update in error. This feature has now been removed from the live game. If you're unfamiliar with what we're talking about here, don't worry. I already had a full video planned on this that I guess I'm now replacing with these patch note videos since this kind of negates that. But with Season 4's update, you might have realized whenever you go into your gunsmith now and you go to select your various different builds for any gun in the game, instead of getting your builds to show up right away, at the very, very top was an ad for a store bundle, because we just need more and more ads in our game that's already full of, hey, buy the battle pass, hey, buy this bundle, hey, look at all this MTX, right? Yeah, it was just ads on ads on ads with the Season 4 update. And they say this was in error. It was a test that they were only doing behind the scenes and it got pushed live. In error. Yeah. Definitely. Like I said, I originally had a whole video planned on this talking about how ridiculous this was, because Charlie Intel reported this on the day of the update, saying Activision has now added bundle and battle pass advertisements to the created class and event tabs with the Season 4 update. And as mentioned, you would go through and you'd select a random weapon in the game, and if it had a store bundle for it, you'd see this ad pop up at the very top before you'd go through and select your custom loadouts and your custom builds at the bottom. Just unnecessary, given how much they already promote the store. They have so much marketing about it. It's obviously got its own tab that now has new flares constantly. It says there's a new bundle in the store, there's a free bundle in the store, there's this, that going on, whatever. They always want you to go and check that out. And so, emphasizing it even more, they dropped these in on accidents. Part of me wonders, you know, maybe they put this in the game. They didn't mention anything about it in the patch notes or changes, so I guess they do have some backing for it being an accidental update. But I think it was more so they heard everyone saw this in their game and said, why are there ads on my created class menu? What is the point of this? What purpose does this serve? We don't need this. Everyone said it was a weird and stupid update, basically. And they heard that backlash and they're like, okay, we'll walk that back a little bit. We're good. We'll take it out for now. It was a feature test. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not buying that fully. They also now have battle pass ads in the event tab as well. I even saw, I think, a store bundle ad in the event tab right as I booted my game up when Season 4 first dropped too. So that was super weird, but hey, the patch notes are out for it now and this feature has been removed. At least for the time being. Maybe they bring it back and they're like, you guys forgot about that, right? Where we did it on accident. Well, now it's back on purpose. Anyway, we've got even more patch notes than just that across multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone. So continuing on here in multiplayer, ranked play, the following changes for ranked were made on the 30th, with competitive maps and modes being fully updated for the CDL competitive settings, vote to forfeit being re-enabled, live pings being disabled. We covered that in like a little COD updates tweet recap video the other day. They also addressed a UI update here, addressed an issue where the weapon held by the random operator for Crimson 1 would be misaligned, so just a little visual bug there. For zombies updates, general playlist updates addressed an issue that prevented players from using ascenders, zip lines, and other fast travel mechanics when anywhere but here or nowhere but there were equipped. That was also fully fixed on the 30th. Challenges address an issue where the hunker down challenge would not be completed when reaching round 15. And with UI, address an issue that could prevent players from inspecting the profile of another player in their lobby. Then also a fix from the 30th if you missed it. A fix has been deployed to address inaccurate accurate zombies lifetime leaderboard stats if you're above prestige 10. Graphics address an issue that could prevent the white screen from fading after completing a challenge in Grief, and you already know we got to have our various stability issues in here as well being addressed. Now let's jump over to the Warzone patch notes. Keep in mind as we do so, if you guys enjoy the video, you find the info helpful, a like rating is always seriously appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, you want to make sure that each and every single day you are in the know for all things going on in COD. No better place than right here, so feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. Next up, we've got our Warzone patch notes from late last night. Again, they do address this global issue. A feature test for the selected store content in your loadout menus has been removed. We'll see what happens with that in the future. And then we got several new bug fixes as well. So we rarely see this one in Warzone. Usually it's a multiplayer and it's a zombies copy and paste, but they fixed various stability and crash related issues. So not just various stability fixes this time, folks. We are upgrading to stability and crashing issues. They don't tell us what though in specific. So if you've been having crashing issues or stability issues, good luck figuring out if it's fixed. You're gonna have to go through and test and see, hey, am I crashing this time? Oh, yep. Okay. Wasn't mine mentioned there. Sorry, guys. They also fixed the issue causing hitching and stuttering in matches. No specifics there as to what was going on with that, but whatever it is, they've fixed it. Fixed various collision issues that allowed players to exploit under the map. This seems like it's also becoming one of these copy and paste patch notes that in every major update this is listed as well, because there's so many exploits on Verdansk where you can just like get behind walls or under the map through all sorts of weird stuff there. They fixed an issue where players were not receiving the correct amount of SR after completing a ranked match there, so there were some discrepancies going on. An issue where the search and destroy contract UI was not displaying for allies. Then also an issue where players would lose certain functionality if eliminated while planting a search and destroy contract bomb. So if you were in the middle of doing that contract on a buy station, someone takes you out, you then lose your ability to play the game normally. Essentially, you lose your functionality there. So pretty big issue if you were actively doing those. An issue where the bomb location indicator would persist after the search and destroy contract expired. So new contracts, new bugs in the game, of course, that adds up one to one based off of how COD updates work, but they did address several issues there. No current mention of anything going on with some of the PlayStation stability issues though, some of the crashing there, unless that's of course included in these various stability and crashing related issues. And then also no mention of the setbacks and ranks where you got pushed back way further than you should have with the reset here. Obviously they fixed the aftermatch SR, but nothing on that initial reset where if you were like you know, iridescent, you could have been pushed back to silver for some reason super drastically. They know that's a bug. They're still looking into that as well, per the Trello. But yeah, couple of new updates today, couple of brand new changes and fixes and recognitions of, hey, we messed up on that store bundle thing. Well, let's just forget about that, right? That is going to wrap things up though. If you guys enjoyed the video, like rating is always really appreciated. Be sure to hit that sub button if you want to guarantee you're always in the know for COD. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.